If you are using Terraform every day, you know how tricky it can get managing workflows, registry modules, and automation. But what if I told you that you can now supercharge Terraform directly inside VSCode using the new HashiCorp Terraform MCP Server? My name is Malik, and in this video I'm going to show you what the Terraform MCP Server usually is, how to configure it in VSCode step by step, and how it can make your infrastructure as code workflow faster, smoother, and more fun to use. Stick around till the end because I will give you a quick demo of Terraform plus MCP in action so you can see how it changed your day-to-day DevOps work. Let's start. Model Context Protocol, or MCP. It is one of the hot subjects all anyone talking about these days, and how they gonna help DevOps to develop things better and faster. What is MCP Server? Think of MCP Server as a translator or a middleman between a tool like your VSCode and another system like Terraform. Here is your VSCode that has AI assistant, and in the middle, as I told you, we have a translator or a middleman as called MCP Server, and finally this MCP Server talks to a target. This MCP Server knows how to talk to a specific service like Terraform and explain it in a language that the tool or AI can understand. Let's use a real example. Let's say you have VSCode and there is AI assistance on it. You ask, how can I have a code to configure S3 bucket by Terraform on AWS? And after that, the assistance will show you the usage example inside your VSCode. Normally, without MCP, the AI assistants don't know how to talk to Terraform registry. But when we have Terraform MCP Server, AI agent will send the request to MCP Server. MCP Server talk to Terraform, and Terraform reply back the answer to MCP Server, and MCP Server prepare the code in your VS Code. In Google, just search deploy Terraform MCP Server, and from the result, click on the first link related to HashiCorp Developer. In this page, you see all the information you need to configure your environment to use Terraform MCP Server. For example, if you are using VS Code, here you can find the configuration, how to configure your VS Code. Let's go step by step and do it in VS Code. The Terraform Model Context Protocol, or MCP Server, enables AI model to generate Terraform configuration using up-to-date information from the Terraform registry. So this MCP Server, as belong to HashiCorp, is more accurate than the other MCP servers. So let's going down. Here there are some methods you can install on your machine and use it. As you see, we can use by Docker or compiled binary and also source installation. So here I'm going to use Docker. To run it in Docker, at first you need to have Docker on your system, and normally we have it. And after that, we need to integrate with the environment we are using. As I told you, we are going to use Visual Studio. Let's go into Terminal. In Terminal, I have created a folder called Demo, and it's empty. So in first step, as it is written in document, we should have Docker on our machine. Just type Docker. As you see, it is in running status. So in next step, as it is written here, we have integrate VSCode with AI agent. For this step, at first, we need to Visual Studio be installed. Let's clear a screen. I did install that on my computer, so if I run code dot, it will go and open VSCode on my computer. In next step, we have to verify GitHub Copilot extension is installed. And also we need to configure it to agent mode. Just open this link in a separate page, and from this page just going down, and here will show you how to set up it on your local machine. So let's back to VS Code, and here just click on Ctrl Shift X together, and it will open extension section, or from the sidebar just you can click on this one, it will show you this section. Just copy this one and back to VS Code, paste it here, and it will go and search for GitHub Copilot. From the result, install this one, GitHub Copilot. I already installed this one and this one on my VS Code. In next step, we need to verify MCP Support enable. Open this link in separate tab. Let's a little scroll down. You can enable or disable MCP Support in VS Code with this one, chat.mcp.enable. Just click on this one. It will ask you open, so it will open it in your VS. As you see, it is enabled. If you remove this one, it will be disabled. So let's close this one, and this one, and back to document. In step 4 mentioned, to use MCP Server in all workspaces, add the following configuration to your user setting. Alternatively, to use the server in a specific workspace, create this file mcp.json with the following configuration in this directory. So at first we need to create such directory. Copy this one, back to VS Code, right click new folder and create this folder. In this folder, create a file with name mcp.json, create a file mcp.json, and copy this configuration inside that. Ctrl S, and everything saved here. In next step, verify the integration by opening the chat interface and selecting agent from the mode setting. So in VS Code, as you see here, GitHub Copilot extension, just click on it and open. In chat section, if bring your mouse here, it will show you set mode. Click here, and we need to set it on agent as it is written in official document. So we select agent. In step 6, click the tools icon to verify that Terraform MCP Server tools appear in the available tools list. Click on this one, configure tools, and going down, here it will show you MCP Server. MCP Server HashiCorp Terraform is selected. So far, so good. Let's restart VSCode. In left side, click on extension, and now in MCP Server installed, you can see Terraform MCP Server. When you bring mouse on this MCP Server, it shows you the MCP Server is on workspace, and also with this blue icon, you will find it is on your current workspace. Just click on this one and start server. Here you see it is started and in running status. Also you see here MCP Server Terraform. Nice. So far so good. So server started. Here you see for next steps, begin prompting your AI model about Terraform configuration. Let's click here. How we can prompt a model connected to this Terraform MCP server. Here you will see some example how to write a prompt for generate a configuration. Let's back to VS Code. Going here and let's create a file, for example main.tf. Just I type I need to create an EC2 on AWS. Just enter. You see it is using HashiCorp Terraform MCP Server. So just click continue. Continue. Let me close this window to see what is here. As you see in the middle, it will go and using the HashiCorp module. Here, this module is EC2 instance and it is located for this source address and this version 6.1.1. Name and instance type and the other configuration. If you want to use it, you can just click on keep and it will go to next step. So let's undo. We don't want to use this one. Just type I need to create an EC2 with Terraform configuration without module. Look here, it generated this code. At first define a provider in this region, US is one. It will go and create an EC2 with this AMI and this instance T3 micro, and also here is the output for the public IP and the instance IP. If we wanted to keep it, or we can ask to update, for example type update instance type to T2 micro. Look here, updated. So if I click on keep, it will keep this configuration on this file main.tf. So in next step we wanted to initiate and get a plan of this configuration. Do init and plan. Run command in terminal. Terraform init. Continue. So it's going and initiate or configuration. Automatically now show you Terraform plan. So just click on continue and we'll get a plan of your configuration. Here you are. Here is the configuration. As you see in messages, you can now run Terraform apply. So do apply. Continue. It will go and create this resource on your AWS account. But here you have to create a profile on your local machine and add the username and password to interact with your AWS account. It is created, and here is the IP address of the created EC2. It's done quickly without typing any code by yourself. Okay, so just type it, do destroy it, continue, and it will go and destroy that on our AWS account. It's done, and EC2 destroyed from my AWS account. Let's clear here, close this terminal, and back here I want to update this configuration. I need to update this configuration to use a private VPC with 192.168.0.0/16 CIDR block, and also add two subnets, one private and one public. Public one have to access internet, and also add my EC2 in private one. Just enter. Let's see what will happen. Look here, a private VPC created. Let's going up. VPC created, and after that the public subnet and private subnet, both of them created in this availability zone. So if you need to be in another AZ, you can ask to update and we'll change it for you. Let's going down. Here is internet gateway to let public subnet have access to internet, routing table, and route for internet access for the public one. And here is the associate public subnet for public route table, the security group to allow SSH to it, EC2 in private subnet, and also output. But we need the EC2 has internet access. Let's see what will happen. Look here, to give an EC2 instance in a private subnet internet access, you need a NAT gateway. So automatically we'll go and add a NAT gateway to your configuration. Look here, AWS NAT gateway. Okay, so keep, and here is the final configuration. Just you need to ask init and apply, and it will go and create this EC2 in this private VPC and private subnet on your AWS account. So far, so good. Let's go and update this configuration before ending this tutorial. Just add, we need to use variables in our configuration. Let's see what will happen, and it's done. Let's look in variables. Here you see all the variables about the region, about the VPC CIDR block, about this public and private subnet, and so on. If I back to main, here you see remove the old ones and update to use variables. If I click on keep, so the configuration updated. Also add outputs in separate file. And just let's have a look to output. Here is the outputs: instance ID, private IP, and so on. As you saw in this tutorial, we could use Terraform MCP Server and generate our configuration without going to search many documents for any specific command, but in reality we need to have a good knowledge in Terraform to analyze the generated code, and after that let's deploy it in our environment. If you like this video, don't forget to click on subscribe and add your feedback in the comment section. Thank you so much. See you in next video.